Well, this is the official call out for Cleetus and Toast at Florida for Cleetus and Cars. We're coming. Alright guys, we're out in the shop here. We just got a package from the FedEx guys, some parts that we need to actually get this truck started up here. And little guy here, he's got his package too, but it's this monster truck. It's not going to help us anyhow. So let's go ahead and open this package and see what we got inside. Awesome. Again, hooking it up with the stickers. We appreciate that. And here we have just a few items. We've got the Holley dash mount, which this is for the 1.5 inch. We actually ordered in an aluminum one for 2 1/4 to go around our factory column. So we'll modify that and make it work. Here we have the transmission cooler, oil cooler. That's what we need along with the line kit, which I'm assuming there's just the pieces in here. Looks like down here. Of course, got the dum-dum down there. Here we have the dipstick. This is a locking dipstick from Locar. So we're going to go ahead and install that right now. I actually already have the transmission pan off. Was expecting this package today, so we'll put that in there. You want that package or that sticker, bud? All right. Okay, we'll get that just 1 second. Here we have the Aeromotive. We have a Dash 12 Orb O-ring fitting fuel filter with stainless 100 micron and also a spare filter for that. Here we have our grommet for the firewall. So we can go ahead and get that installed so we can get our wiring harness pulled through that. I had to go with such a big hole. I didn't show it in the last video because on the harness there's also relays and stuff that come through with the harness itself. So hopefully this will seal back up after we do that. So there's the lines, and here's the bag of fittings for the transmission cooler shirt. And so yeah, let's get started on putting in the dipstick for the transmission so we can call that good, put the pan back on, and we'll go from there. Oh, I already found the dum-dum. Is it good? Tell him thank you.
Thank you.
Alright guys, just been plugging away on the truck here. I just want to give you some updates. I haven't recorded anything, but I'll show you a few things what we've actually got done so far today. Alright, so here we go. With our package from Motion Raceworks, we were able to install the grommet here on the firewall, run our Dominator harness through there. We also were able to install the transmission dipstick, and that's ran down there. Also, I'll go ahead and lift it up. We'll show you a few things underneath of there. But that takes care of everything there. I also, while I'm down, show you here that I added this gusset and this bar here with a hole so that way I could put a Heim joint on that steering. Not sure if I really needed it, but it's on there. We're good to go. Crudely have our map sensor mounted in here along with all the other sensors and wiring for now. This will get tidied up at some point. I just want to, again, get it running this weekend, hopefully. So let's lift it up now and I'll show you what we got going underneath. And underneath the truck here, you can see here, we were able to, again, have the dipstick installed and also install the AN line fittings here, along with the lines for the transmission cooler, which run alongside the frame, along the fuel rail, and then they are right here. Again, I know some people are probably going to say there's not enough adequate airflow for this cooler here being mounted along the side of the frame. That may be the case, and I will move it if it comes down to it, but yeah, I don't see it any differently where people actually mount them up underneath, you know, say this brace from the box and make bars across and only leave a couple inches of space there. If it is a problem, we'll move it. We're going to put a transmission temp sensor in there at some point here as well, so we can monitor that, but at this point, that's where it's going to be for the time being. And that's everything underneath. So we do need to wrap up fuel lines. I did talk with the guys at Motion Raceworks. I'm going to have a problem with that fuel hat, so I'm going to have to add a fitting underneath of the tank here for our feed, because with a remote pump, you do not want to suck from the top of the tank. I guess I didn't know that, so I'm glad they told me that, so that way I can get that corrected. So with a pump like this, you want to pull from the bottom, which is exactly what this tank here that I was going to use would be. This is your return on top, and obviously your feeds are on the bottom there. Maybe possibly just use this as a temporary solution for now, just to fire it up here. That way I can dump a little bit of E85 in that and use that possibly. But we'll focus on that here in a bit. Now my next step is back to this Holley dash here. This is for the 12.3 Holley dash. It came with this adapter here, which is a split collar adapter drilled and tapped with these Allen head screws. That way you can mount this down here in these lower screws and tilt. I have this split aluminum 2 1/4 because I'm using the original steering column in the truck. So I need to take this over and actually drill 2 holes and tap them for these Allen bolts to go in here so we can mount the new one onto this and mount it around our factory steering column. So I got the crew with me and we're gonna head on over to the brothers shop now. As you've seen, I only got a couple clips real quick, trying to machine that with my brother so I could get back before the snowstorm's going to hit. But what we did is, this is 3/4 of an inch thick versus the original one that went in here was only a 1/2 inch. So instead of machining the whole surface, we just grabbed an end mill bit that was, I believe, 3/16, just kind of hand marked this out and put those 2 notches in there to make that approximately, that'll show 1/2 inch thick down in the groove. And then when we slid this in there, these holes could have been a little bit further to the outside. I wouldn't have had this issue, but when you go to put it in, you were hitting on this radius piece right here. So went ahead and just kind of notched that out a little bit. So now, as you can see, the holes line up there. If the camera would focus on that. Bottom line, they line up. So let's go ahead and run these 1032 screws in there. We'll go ahead and get the rest of the hardware out to mount the Dominator on there and get it put into the truck so we can see what it looks like. Went ahead and bolted this on with the 1/4 28 hardware supply. It does send little spacers to go underneath to keep this off of all of the control panel and stuff. But everything's good. Got your little cutout here for the GPS and your USB-C ports, your master plug there. The only bolt I did not put in, I didn't feel like screwing around with it, was this one down underneath of here. Here we are inside the truck with it all mounted up. Like I said, here we have that adapter for the 2, and I know it's kind of dark in here, for that 2 1/4 shaft, and it is looking good. I wish there was more adjustability, but because the column gets larger here, I have no room to really go back behind here and no room to really tip it down. But it's large enough that you will get the idea of what you're looking for. I mean, have the speedometer, RPM, whatever essential gauges we need on there. That's just going to give us plenty of space to see everything we need to see. So now we need to continue to work to actually get this thing to power up so we can fire it and then we can see some stuff. All right, today is the day. It is a new day. It is Sunday. We have everything pretty much hooked up on that truck. I just either want to run the temporary fuel tank or finish up the fuel tank that I installed with the fitting on the bottom of it. We need to get E85, but first we got to deal with a bunch of garbage outside. We just got another, I don't know, 6 inches, 8 inches of snow. Massive drift at the end of the driveway. I got to clean all my house driveway and everything else. So let's fire up the old Craftsman snowblower here, get her fueled up, and get to work so we can go get E85 and get this truck fired up today. much power out of that battery. Alright guys, we're ready for the first fire here. We've got everything ready. Just got our jerry rig battery connections here. Holly dash. Probably don't need anything in there, but whatever. Give her a little splash. Fuel pump, I'll hook all these up and we'll go ahead and give it its first test fire.
Burning them headers, the paint off of them.
That's oil got on there. 2, training fluid.
All right, added 10 quarts of training fluid. We're gonna go ahead and fire it up one more time. Can't let it run long because we have no coolant going to it, but we just want to hear it again.
Where's the fire extinguisher? Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna blow shit up now!
Right on the pole, get ready. Well, this is the official call out for Cleetus and Toast at Florida for Cleetus and Cars. We're coming.